welcome to Susie Makes. Today we're gonna make Korean radish, also known as gakdugi, and we're gonna start off with a Korean radish, some ginger, green onion, garlic, a Korean pear or an Asian pear, potato starch, black pepper, salt, some fish sauce, some sugar, and some Korean red pepper chili flakes or gochugaru. And let's get started.
We'll start off by washing and peeling the Korean radish. And then we'll slice them into 3/4 of an inch to an inch wide cubes. I wanted a better idea of the size of the radish that I have in this video here, and we actually get pretty close to 3 pounds. And now we're going to add some coarse salt as well as some sugar, and this actually does two things. There's an osmotic effect and it draws out water from the radish, but it also gives it flavor. We'll give it a really good toss here and make sure everything is coated. Let it sit for about 45 minutes and we can periodically mix through and it'll look something like this. At the end of the 45 minutes, I like to rinse off with cool water just to remove the excess salt and sugar. I like to do this to make it a little bit healthier. This step, however, is optional, so if you want yours to be a little bit saltier and sweeter, go ahead and leave it. We do want to make sure we drain that excess liquid though. We'll use a microwavable bowl and 1.5 cups of water and 2 tablespoons of potato starch. And then let's mix this really well, and then we'll actually heat it in the microwave in intervals and mix throughout so that it doesn't get stuck into one blob. I did mine in 30-second intervals, but if your microwave is weaker or stronger, definitely adjust it to your microwave. And you'll know that it's ready when your mixture is gelatinous and thick, just like this. Give it a good mix to break up any big chunks, and then we'll let that cool. One of the ingredients that I've added to the traditional gakdugi recipe is leeks. This actually adds a wonderful layer of different flavor and adds just a new dimension. We'll start off with a rough chop here because we actually need to soak the leeks. And if you're unfamiliar with this vegetable, it is grown in a lot of sand and dirt, and a lot of it gets between the layers, so this step is absolutely essential. Soak them in a big bowl like this, and all of the dirt and sand sinks to the bottom, and then we'll just pull off all of the leeks into this colander here. Let's just do a finer chop with a handful of leeks here. And now we'll prep some green onions, a very traditional Korean food ingredient. Always definitely have green onions on hand. We'll also make sure to add some fresh garlic to this mix, about 2 to 3 cloves depending on how big they are, but try to get at least 2 teaspoons. And here we have another aromatic ingredient. We have freshly grated ginger. I highly recommend using freshly grated ginger over ground ginger because there is definitely more flavor that is retained in the fresh. You'll definitely get a lot more ginger than just 1 teaspoon from this size of a piece, but I like to freeze it and use it for another recipe. We're also going to add 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. Try to use a really high quality fish sauce. This is one of my favorites. Traditionally for gakdugi, you add sugar. However, for this recipe, I decided to use a Korean pear. You can also use an Asian pear, but it really adds a nice layer of flavor. Go ahead and remove the peel. It is really thick. You don't want to include that. and do a really fine mince on this. Alright, now let's mix all of the ingredients for the sauce. Just make sure that your water and potato starch mix has cooled. That's actually what the probiotic bacteria is going to use to ferment and produce those beautiful postbiotics. And if you're interested in gut health and you're a science nerd like me, definitely read about dietary fiber and short chain fatty acids. It's a great late night read. We're gonna mix the sauce and the radish. Let's try to really evenly coat everything. And we can't forget to do some plating for our beautiful new recipe. And remember to pack it down in the jar so that it ferments correctly. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit like and subscribe. See you next time.